Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Okay. I've decided I'm going to drill it out, or try to drill it out. In other words, where we got to get those two little prongs to go in the right place. I'm going to go along with Mark in Australia, and yeah, we're going to drill it out. At least we're going to try. And this morning when I got up, once again, I started thinking about how I'm going to go about all this, and I'm thinking what I need is something to hold on to this thing so that I can move it around in exactly the right place underneath the bit. Now, I know that this drill press and this tiny little bit don't go together too good, but if I'm careful, I actually will have less chance of snapping it off using this than I will using the same amount of care and this. Because with this thing, there's the just trembling or shaking or having a sneeze come on, or you know, that's all it takes. Whereas with this, I can just very carefully miter it down. Yeah. And then the idea is I'm going to use this thing here to try and mount the part in, and then I can slide it around in exactly the right spot on the table here, I think. Yeah, I should be able to get everything adjusted. Yeah, you know how it's going to go. This thing here, I used to have it downstairs on my big drill press in the workshop. I got a big floor standing drill press down in the workshop. That's pretty nice. You know, I was just thinking this morning. It's kind of funny that I was. When was the last time I thought to myself that I actually welded anything up? Every once in a while, I think I should make a little bracket for this or something for that, or you know. And I could weld it up. Like I was thinking I could make a, you might call it a, what would you call it, a chuck or a chalk? For the front wheel of the motorcycle that I could drive into. And I thought, yeah, I could weld something up. And then I think then I gotta rig up my exhaust system and my fireproof, my spark resistant stuff all around the inside of my welding room down there. And it takes about an hour to get set up, and I think, oh, I don't want to do that, and reaching up high to fasten stuff, it's not as easy as it used to be. You know, I know we're always talking about stuff like that, or I am anyway. Oh, I got a comment from a viewer here in Canada, and he's talking about biking, and he says, I walk much like you, and I got arthritis in both knees, and I'm hoping to keep biking as long as I can. Well, good for you. Yeah, if you're like me, when you're sitting on that bike, you're 18 years old again. You're not an old man. No, you're only an old man when you're trying to get on it. Yeah, or walk to it. Yeah. I don't know what people must think. I don't deliberately walk in decrepitly. It just happens. But once I'm on, there's very little difference to when I was young. Another viewer says you're riding way too fast. Well, I should mention that, yeah, every once in a while I do crank the throttle there because I like to feel that power, but for the most part, it's not as fast as it looks. Look at the speedometer. You'll see that I'm pretty much within the speed limit all the time. Now I know that maybe I should explain this, that my cruise control will be set at 52, but my real speed is 50, like kilometers per hour. And the reason I know that is because I've gone, there's places here in Winnipeg where you can go through radar and it will show you on the screen, a little screen, how fast you are going, and I have to indicate 52 in order to go 50. So I know when I'm not speeding when it says 52. And that is just fast enough that the transmission will shift itself into sixth gear. It's a 7-speed transmission, and that way the engine is ticking along at about, I guess 1300 RPM. It's just purring along really nice. Now I know that some people think, oh, you're lugging your engine. It if you're unless you're trying to accelerate, and it'll downshift if in an emergency or whatever you want to call it, an emergency. If you quickly crank it, it'll downshift. The computer won't allow you to lug that engine. How did we get on that? We're talking about this stuff. Let's get our little tiny bit here and get it mounted in there and see if we can get our part mounted in this thing here. And then we have to make sure that I'm going to be drilling the holes. Yeah, if I check the manual here, I can see where those things are supposed to go within a fraction of a millimeter. Okay, I think I'm going to be. They don't say anything about drilling holes, so obviously we're doing it a different way. And it could be that I'm going to find out that I just can't get that this smallest bit is too big. It might not want to go down on the edge of the splinter rail. We don't know. I'll do my best to get the macro lens in here, and we'll move right in, and I'll do my best to show you it being done. But no promises. Every once in a while, I think I'm doing a really great job at something like that, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, the viewers are going to be so pleased with this. And then in editing, I find out my finger completely blocked the scene. So I'll try not to do that. All right. We are ready for you-know-who. Yeah. When I got up the street this morning, first thing, the streets were wet. Everything was wet. Patio was wet. But right now, I'm actually seeing dry spots out there in the middle of the street. The patio is drying out. Yeah, there's dry spots on the patio. The weather office says that there is zero chance of rain for this morning. So hey, I'm very happy about that, because I didn't think I was going to get to go out today with what the weather forecast was yesterday. Yeah, another good day, another good ride, all being well. Maybe I'll go to Timmy's today. I think I'm not getting sick of McDonald's because it's only $1 for their coffee, but Timmy's is only 50 cents more, and it's Canadian. Yeah. Okay. Let's get at it. Okay, it seems to me, I think it was in yesterday's episode when I was first talking about these bits that I was saying I used to know what the diameter of the smallest one was, and I'd forgotten. So just for the fun of it, let's check it out here. Okay, being very careful now, because just even measuring this, you can accidentally snap it off if you hold on to the shaft too tight, or shank, whatever you call it. Alrighty, let's get ourselves going here. Make sure there's no debris on the face of the anvil part, or whatever they call it. And get ourselves zeroed. Alright, now very, very gently run. Very gently. Okay, it looks like 13 thousandths of an inch. Yeah. Yeah, 13 thousandths. Somehow I thought it was less than that, but I was thinking it was the same as a human hair. Well, a thick human hair is about 5 thousandths. from what I remember when I measured one. Okay, well, we may as well get this installed in the chuck, and be very careful when I'm reaching underneath that I don't accidentally rub the, you know what I mean. Okay, you'll notice that's shaking pretty good. Once the belt warms up, it runs a lot smoother. Right now there's sort of a, you might call it a flat spot in the belt, sort of like a cold tire, a car tire, or a motorcycle tire. Let it run for a while. Okay, I think that that's going to stay in position there, and the idea will be that I can slide it around on the table. I mean the drill press table, and get it in just the right position. So I'm noticing that the chuck is turning a lot smoother right now, so the belt is warming up, or limbering up, however you want to say it. Okay, let's get ourselves recomposed here. I guess the next thing we're going to want to do here is get our macro lens on, right? Okay, I think I've got the right idea, but yeah, I know we don't have the macro lens on, but we soon will. The problem is, though, that the vibration, there's still a little vibration. This wants to slide around on me. I don't know if maybe I should put something underneath, like maybe that oven mat or something like that. Yeah, I'm just gonna lay the oven mat underneath this, and then it might have a tendency to dampen the vibration so that this doesn't slide around out of place on me. In the meantime, let's just leave it running. I'm noticing the the motor on this little drill press is getting quite hot. I hope it doesn't shut itself off before I get done here. I must have caught the bit on something. Well, it's a good thing I've got more of them. Guess I'll have to check the footage and see how I did that, just out of curiosity. Oh, Ron. I just hate it when I do stuff like that. Okay, I was just going to change these out here. But I'm noticing that there's a little piece still left. I'm wondering if maybe we could just leave this in and use this. I mean, we're just going into soft plastic. We don't need a sharpened cutting edge that this has. Let's just leave this in, and yeah, maybe I'll put my magnification hood on so I can actually see that. Is that going to be long enough? I would think that's going to be just about right. Now, there was quite a bit of shaking going on there, and I guess there's a certain amount of run out because this is not what you would call a precision drill press. We do have a hole there, which is probably about a millimeter deep. I may have been actually better off to have put in the new drill bit. But at least this way, I know I probably haven't gone in too deep. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to push stop here for a minute, and we're going to try and drop one of the legs down into that hole and just see how it looks. You'll be able to see it on the macro lens a lot better than I can see it right now with the magnification hood. Okay, here we come. Does that look like it's going to be deep enough? Yeah, I think it's going to be alright. It would have been nicer if the hole had been slightly smaller in diameter, but that, that's going to fill up with C8 glue. And okay, now I'm going to try and drill one hole right here. So we're going to have to slide everything over. And we'll do the same thing again. Okay, let's get ourselves going. Yeah, I think that's going to be alright. Alright, we'll turn it around and we'll do the other ones. Now, there are other holes that we have to put in besides, we've got little hoops that have to go in sticking out the sides. So, yeah. Okay, we are turned around. I don't think I could have done much better than that. Okay, we're just doing a bit of a dry run here. I'm not going to glue them in place now. I just want to see if they can be spread to fit in there without bending it too badly out of shape. And hopefully it won't have a tendency to ping itself out and go flying into the carpet. Oh my. I'm having to spread them a little bit more than I thought. Uh-oh. Well, we'll get it. I know where it went. Here's the other one. Let's try not to drop it. Maybe I'm not holding it in the right place. No, I can't see it. The tweezer's blocking my vision here. Come on. Okay, now I think if a person was to, I'm not going to do it now, but if you were to come in with a drop of the CA extra thin, so it would drop down into the hole, I think that's going to work. Okay, now let's not forget that the other one has gone down here. Well, now there has to be a couple of holes put in from the side, like right here, and there's going to be another hoop that goes around like this. Yeah, where are those anyway? How big are they? Okay, here they come. Yeah, they're supposed to go something like that. Wonder what those things were. Guess I could find the photographs of the real thing and maybe be able to figure it out. Okay, 3 things. The sun has just come out. Missy the dog has just taken Max for his walk. And if we look at where this little part that we're going to try and glue on comes, it seems that it comes, you see this little part right here that I'm just touching right here on the drawing? That's actually this part right here. So the hole we want to make is just below the edge. Let's see if I can turn this. It would be, if I can just touch it here, yeah, it would be like right here and right here. That's where we want to make the holes. Okay, so I got to get this thing mounted now in my drill press vise. Excuse me, and it's going to be a little bit harder to mount it this way now.
Hey, Uncle Russ.
Good morning.
Look at you already and everything.
We saw you leave. Beautiful day.
We bumped into Gus
Gus?
and Tracy. Gus lives down the street. He's a 7-year-old fuzzy something or other. Gus and Missy are friends, apparently.
No, Gus and Missy are friends. There you go. Well, I wasn't expecting to see the sunshine when I woke up this morning. Okay.
Oh, what was the forecast?
The forecast I didn't check, but what I was going by was what it looked like. It was all wet and damp and looked like it was going to rain. And then the sun started coming out. That's
The
all right.
forecast is today 24, 27, 27, 24, 26. That's like July temperatures. And this,
Well, Missy, you going to stop scratching long enough to come and say goodbye?
do you follow the national news at all?
No, I used to watch the National, but come on, Missy, say goodbye.
I follow it online. Missy,
Hey,
Uncle Ron.
yeah, time to go.
Uncle Ron's wasting his Kodak film. He's gonna have to get a second roll. Okay.
There you go, you got it.
Boy,
There's a knack to it.
there's a knack. A very special knack.
Yeah, blue sky looks good.
Have a good one. I'll see you later.
Bye, Missy. Yeah, that blue sky looks good. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Okay. I think I better go for a ride while it's nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to Timmy's. You want to come along with me? Well, you're going to have to watch the bike ride. Yeah, what would that be? I think it's going to be number 327? Yeah. Okay, once again, quite a bit of time has passed here. And before I drill my holes here, I just want to kind of get an idea of where the holes have to be. And it looks like, so let me move in just a little bit here. Let's get this on here without it falling off. Yeah, it looks like the holes have to be underneath this part that I'm touching right now. And right on the very edges. Right on the very edges, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to have them too far in. Because if I do, then this thing is going to have to be pinched to fit, and it's not going to look right. So, yeah, it looks to me like well, it's probably going to fall off if I try to pick it up. But anyway, yeah, let's get the part somehow mounted in our vise here, and maybe I could just clamp it by one of the fins. No, I could. It's going to be a certain amount of pressure on it. I'll find a place. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Could I go like this? Yeah, that might be alright, especially if I was to put some padding or something right in there. Okay, I don't want to get it too tight. I'm going to break this part off here, but I think it's tight enough now that it's going to not give underneath the pressure of the drill bit. And the bit, it has to go. Something to point here with. It has to go right there, right on the as close to the edge as I can get, and right here. Yeah, all being well. Okay, let's recompose here. Where's our macro lens? Okay, I've tried to change my camera angle perspective a little bit here, and we're looking more down on it rather than across it. Now, being as that the camera base is sitting partially on the drill press base. It could be that when I turn this on, I'm going to get a lot of vibration. I haven't tried it yet, so you're going to see it along with me for the first time. If it's not too bad, we're just going to keep going here. Only got 2 more holes to drill. So here we go. Okay, once again, it is what it is. Being as that there was so much run out on the drill bit, the drill bit made a hole actually larger than the bit. I may have been better off to have replaced this bit with a new one, and then relied on the flex of the bit to keep it more centered. But we'll try this and see how it works out. What time we got here? It's 7 minutes after 2 already. Yeah, we'll have time to check it out. Okay, how did we do? This is the first time I'm trying it. Well, this hole should have been a little bit lower. But I think once that's glued in place, and we give it a little bit of a twist, so that this part that I'm touching right now is at the same plane as this, and it almost is, it's going to be okay. At least we didn't go too far in. Okay, let me take this back out before we lose it. I'm going to call it quits. I have done no editing on today's episode yet. And now it is 13 minutes after 2. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're gonna see you tomorrow.